Hello, guys, and welcome to another One Stop Wrestling podcast. As always, I am your host, Alex, and as always, I am joined by the incomparable Rohit and Alfonso. Guys, how are you this evening?
Hello, I'm good. How's everyone else? Hope everyone else is good.
I'm angry right now.
Oh dear, this is a first. When I haven't seen you angry, Alfonso. You're so positive. What's wrong?
Why didn't I get an adjective right now?
That was for both of you.
No, you said incomparable Rohit and then Alfonso.
Incomparable
How
Rohit and
dare you?
Alfonso. You're both incomparable.
I'm the main event. God damn it.
We wouldn't replace either of you with anyone.
Oh
No,
yeah, I'm just very happy. To be honest with you guys, I was like I want to say this little story before we start.
Yep.
I haven't seen my parents like for 1 month because they were away on a trip. And when they came back, I was talking to them and they asked me about One Stop Wrestling. And I said, yeah, I'm still doing the podcast. I'm still enjoying wrestling. And I told them, for me, doing this podcast is one of the best things ever because here in El Salvador, I don't have a community that watches wrestling with me. But finding you guys and finding this new wrestling family in One Stop Wrestling really makes me happy because I can share my thoughts and I can share what I love about wrestling. And I think that's what's beautiful. And just before we go into the dark side of wrestling and the rating side of wrestling, like for me, having so many people watching wrestling at the same time, like is amazing. Like finally, I think wrestling can become again maybe pop culture, maybe, and that makes me really happy.
yeah, good words, Alfonso. And I feel the same too. We got a great little community here at One Stop Wrestling. It's a pleasure doing these podcasts every week with you guys. And yeah, let's dive into another one. Lots of positivity to open the show. So we'll try not to ruin that with negativity as best we can. But this week was a big week. We're now recording on Thursday, October the 12th. So 2 nights ago was the so-called Tuesday Night War between WWE NXT and AEW Dynamite. And first time they've gone head to head on TV for quite a while. And it's fair to say NXT kind of killed AEW in the ratings. 921,000 viewers for NXT, 609,000 viewers for AEW Dynamite, which is considerably lower than their usual weekly rating. 0.30 for NXT in the key demo and 0.26 for Dynamite. So yeah, obviously there was a lot of build to it, a lot of they were pulling all the stops out really. Shawn Michaels and Triple H, they brought down John Cena. The Undertaker made an appearance, which was insane. Paul Heyman, Cody Rhodes, Dynamite loaded their card too with championship matches. They called it Title Tuesday. Obviously it was a big night. One positive, like Alfonso said, one big positive, the major positive was that 1.5 million people were watching wrestling on a Tuesday night, which is great. I mean, what did you think of the shows and the ratings after? Were you surprised, Alfonso?
To be honest, both shows weren't that great. To be honest,
Do you not think?
yeah. For me, it was like maybe I was way too hype. Like
Yeah.
to be honest, like the expectations were too high, way too high, and like I think there were a lot of little positives, like in each show, like, but for me it wasn't nothing that groundbreaking. Like having that Undertaker cameo is like a cameo you see at WrestleMania when Undertaker arrives, does something, and then leaves.
But it's the
But
Undertaker.
yeah, I know, but but he walks like very slowly right now, and he just destroyed Braun Breaker. Like I would prefer to have ended the show with Braun Breaker spearing Undertaker.
That would have been crazy, but I'm not having it. I'm sorry. Undertaker doing what he did was perfect. I think Bron Breakker gets just as big of a rub as he did if he would have speared him. He's in the ring with the Undertaker. At the end of the day. One of the greatest of all time.
Mm.
Undertaker's even endorsing him on the mic. Obviously, he does kill him at the end with the choke slam and everything. But for Bron Breakker, Bron Breakker shared the ring with John Cena and the Undertaker on NXT. That's crazy to me.
But you know, I was hoping to have like a big development story wise. Like maybe this was the night that Trick Williams turns heel or something like that, you know. Like they tease it, but I wanted to see like that big moment.
Yeah, I don't think it's a night for that, isn't it?
Yeah, like if you're hyping, but I think it was AEW that was hyping that. Because if WWE think so much about this night, you will have that moment, and we didn't get that moment. We got little moments that are nice for the show, but not the whole story. You know?
Yeah, I think they just pulled out their big guns and they just did what they usually do, don't they?
Yeah.
Obviously, like it does get other eyes. People who may have never seen NXT thought, I'm going to tune in because I know John Cena and The Undertaker are there. And they may have seen people like Bron Breakker and Carmelo Hayes and thought, oh, you know, this guy's really good. I might start watching now.
But for me, to be honest, like I don't watch a lot of NXT. But yesterday, Lola Vice was amazing. Like the match of Lola Vice was I think the best match.
Yeah, that was probably the least hyped match as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that's exactly what I'm saying. Like maybe it was way too hype everything. So the things that were not hype were better than the things that were hype.
Yeah, I see what you mean. What do you think, Rohit? Did you watch the shows?
Yeah, I watch the shows. I agree with Alfonso. I don't watch too much NXT really, but I tuned in, watched both shows, and I had a feeling it was gonna be a bit of just a big marketing push, small moments, nothing major, like in terms of like story development. Just gonna be a nice, fun show with a couple of good moments. And yeah, regardless of who won, I do feel sense that like with NXT is like they had all these characters and all these people pop up like the Undertaker, John Cena, Asuka was there. Um, who else? Cody was there, and you're not forgetting Dominic Mysterio, Rhea Ripley was there too.
Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman, yeah.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, yeah, you're getting a bit of Rob, you're getting more attention and buzz to NXT, but isn't NXT meant to be like, oh, here are the new stars, here are the like the next generation is coming, and I feel like that message got lost in this battle that they prioritize winning ratings and putting, I guess, AEW in their place. If you want to call it that.
I see what you mean, but I disagree because
Mm-hmm.
I think that, like I said, having these guys like Undertaker, John Cena, etc., on the show are going to bring eyes to it, and then hopefully those eyes are going to see, like I said, you know, Bron Breakker, Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes. Oh, these are the usual guys. Oh, these guys are really good. Like I like the look of Bron Breakker. I'm going to start tuning into NXT now. So I think the other way. I think yes, okay, Undertaker coming in and choke slamming Bron Breakker isn't like showcasing your future talent.
Yeah.
But I think the casual fans that would have tuned in, would have thought, I'm going to give this a go now.
See, I do agree with that side as well, because I stand with both sides. The issue I have is why was it particular this week, for example? Why couldn't have been like, for example, at a NXT show like the No Mercy? Why couldn't have the Undertaker be there, John Cena be there, for example, or maybe next week? It was particular this show because AEW happened to be on a Tuesday due to baseball and due to the network having them on a Tuesday instead this week.
Of
So
course.
it was a bit like, yeah, it's like what are the true intentions? But I get it from both point of view, and I do think having those stars help, like you pointed out, like getting the eyes on the younger talent, getting the eyes of the NXT pro saying yes, NXT still exists. And people who are Baron Corbin fans may have not known he went to NXT. They were like, "Oh, there he is. We thought he, I don't know, disappeared, injured, or released." So that's probably a bit cool as well. But it's a tricky one, I feel like. But again, it wasn't the both shows weren't great, but they were fun at the same time. Had some good moments, and yeah, I do feel like though in ring wise, at least in terms of in ring matches, I felt like AEW was slightly better, even though again stories is up for debate. But
I think,
yeah,
I think that's always a trend, isn't it? AEW generally have
yeah.
better quality in ring matches. WWE
Hmm.
have better stories and characters.
Yeah, but I thought since it was NXT, I thought maybe we'd get a bit more like of a higher quality. Not to say the matches are bad, it's just I thought maybe a little bit more quality on the matches, but at the same time, I guess they went for moments and like setting up things within the next few weeks rather than match quality on this show. But each
Yeah,
their own, I guess.
yeah, and I completely understand why
Hmm.
NXT did what they did. They're
For
obviously
sure.
it
But
would have been interesting to see what the rating would have been without the likes of Taker, Cena, and Rhea Ripley and Asuka. But
Yeah, and I feel like that's what most people want to just to see if like, oh, is AW now still gonna outperform NXT, or was that just like, oh yeah, because they were hot to the new thing? That's all it was really. But
this is the difference for me. One of the
for
main
sure.
differences between the shows is that
Mhm.
WWE can go to
Yeah,
John Cena, The Rock,
100%.
Undertaker. AEW can't do that because they don't have any big stars like that will
It's
attract
true, and
casual fans.
it's true. And for me, I said it in our group chat. Like the best match on that Tuesday was probably on YouTube. So that's all I'm gonna say.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's very hard when you think about the quality of the matches. Like Swerve,
Hmm.
Brian was great, but yeah,
Yeah,
like the pre-show match in YouTube was awesome, like pretty awesome. I think one of the biggest moments in NXT, as you said, is the ending with Undertaker and Braun Breaker. And like for me, like these days, like one of the things that was keeping me excited about was the returning of CM Punk to WWE, because that was the hype,
me too.
and one of the weirdest things that I saw last night. I don't know if it's just a theory, it's just me crazy CM Punk fan watching things, but Undertaker took off the sleeve of the microphone.
Yes.
but doesn't he always do that? Because normally when he has a mic, he never has a sleeve anyway, even when he was in character.
I'm not sure. I'm not
Because I'm
sure
pretty
anymore.
sure
I'm not sure
no,
anymore. I'm going crazy with all these reports. Like one
because
day,
I get what you're saying. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure normally he has a mic already or has a mic in his jacket somewhere, so you don't see him remove the sleeve. But when there was a couple of times when he made his last few appearances where like they gave him the microphone, the microphones obviously have the sleeve, and he's just taking it off because that's Undertaker for you. Never
and
had,
but
yeah.
I think that's beautiful because
Hmm.
like you want to be surprised,
Yeah.
and that's one of the bad things about the wars, because people said that there weren't leaks during the Attitude Era, and that's fake. Like people knew what was going to happen next Monday before it happened, and sometimes as a fan, as you grow up, you lose that sense of surprise. And I think that is going to be one of the main topics about our episode today, because today we're going to do some surprises in our matches that we are pitching tonight, because we are doing a lot of fantasy booking.
That's right, Alfonso. We do love a
Mhm.
fantasy book on this show. And yeah, this week's topic, obviously, with the Tuesday Night War, AEW and NXT, kind of loaded up big cards. And what we're going to do is have our own crack at basically booking the most elite cards possible. Now, I'm going to do WWE. Alfonso's going to do AEW. And Rohit has got the short straw, I think. Bless him. He's going to have a go at New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, we're each going to pick 5 matches. They're all going to be within the company. So there's going to be no crossover WWE versus AEW, none of that. And it's just going to be the 5 matches we think would create a dream show for that company. And then
they have to be contracted with the company. Like we cannot like fantasy book somebody from another company or something like that.
No crossover. So like no CM Punk, for example, because he's not contracted to anyone. There's going to be none of that. Only people contracted to the company, and we'll put it on social media afterwards and get our fans to vote which was their favorite card. Right, so I'll tell you what, I'm going to start this week with the WWE card. So my first match I've got, this one is a match for the wrestling purists among us, and it is Seth Rollins versus Shad Gable.
Oh my God.
Do you like that one?
For the title?
Yeah, why not?
Amazing. I would love to see that. I
want to see those two wrestle for like 25 minutes and just have an absolute banger of a match. Just a straight technical counter wrestling match. That type of proper, like, in-ring, just perfection type of match. None of these high spots, no brawling, just those two guys having a straight up great wrestling match. Now, my second pick is probably the opposite of that. I think this is one everyone wants to see. I could be wrong, but it's Brock Lesnar versus Gunther.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's a good one. Mm-hmm.
How good would that match be?
And I think that match deserves to be the opening match on your show and not the second match. That's the only problem I see right now.
What makes you say that?
Because I think Gunther deserves to be the opening match. The Intercontinental Championship deserves to be the opening match. And it's going to be like a short match, I think. I don't know.
You could go either way. I don't know. I just fancy Gable and Rollins to just come out and just set the crowd alight with an awesome wrestling match.
Okay, fair.
My third match is going to be this one I struggled with. So I put down Cody Rhodes straight away. Now I couldn't pick between 2 people. So I had Cody Rhodes versus either Bron Breakker or Ilya Dragunov. Right. I went with Ilya Dragunov.
Oh, okay.
Because, I don't know, I just feel like their styles in the ring would mesh so well together. They'd have this crazy, intense, story-filled match, I think. I mean, nothing like inherently on the line. I just want to see that match.
Right.
Okay.
That makes sense, yeah.
This is a lot of these picks are like 2 guys put together that have never really come to blows that would just deliver classics. My fourth match is Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Now, that might be difficult to do right now because Jade, is still probably a bit too green for that. But I don't know. I'm hoping with a bit of training, like that match is like, your 2 biggest women stars really in terms of their look and what they've done. Certainly what Rhea's done in the company this year, and Jade with all her star power potential. And my main event, people might not like this one, but I don't give a fuck because it's the biggest. It's the biggest drawing match the company could do. It's Roman Reigns versus The Rock.
But is The Rock contracted?
He made an appearance on SmackDown the other week. I'm having it.
True, but isn't that a guest appearance? I know he has allegiances, so I would be willing to accept it, but I don't know if it falls under the rules. That's what I'm asking.
I'm going to allow it.
Thank you, Alfonso.
Okay, fair enough.
Look, he appeared on SmackDown. There's rumors of him. He was meant to be at last year's WrestleMania. The match would draw so much money. They're going to make it happen. So that's what I'm doing.
Do you have an honorable mention or a pre-show match that you want to include just because it's very difficult just to choose 5 matches?
Right. So I really wanted Bron Breakker on the card.
Against who?
I couldn't. I would probably have to say
Main event Jey Uso.
Drew
I don't know.
McIntyre.
that's exactly what I was going with, Alfonso. Drew McIntyre. Yeah. And I want them to have like a brutish match, but I want Bron Breakker in the end to just like kill him and just be booked as this absolute monster, which he should be.
And then Sheamus comes out for the save, and he'll go through Sheamus.
Bron Breakker just kills everyone.
Yeah, kills everyone.
So
Dethrones Roman, becomes a new top guy, and then gets squashed by Brock Lesnar.
Surely we've gone past the point of Brock Lesnar destroying pushes.
I mean, he'd probably been away for a good year at least. And him coming back will just be money making again, so maybe.
Well, on my card, Gunther's going to kill Brock Lesnar, so it's all good.
Oh yeah,
It's all
that's
good.
true.
Okay.
So yeah, those are my 5.
What's the
So-
name of the pay-per-view?
I didn't realize we were doing that. Let's
I
go
didn't
with-
realize either, to be honest. I forgot about the name.
WWE Dream Match Mania. How about
Dream Match Mania.
that?
Premium live event coming soon.
There you go. Sold. Right, Rohit, let's move on to you. I know this one may have been a bit trickier, but we're going to have a lot of New Japan fans out there, so give them a dream card. Off you go.
Right. So I had to make a couple of last minute adjustments, but I was prepared for it just because we did speak and I thought there might be some leeway. But if there's no leeway, then I've got some matches for you, which is fine. So the first match would be a New Japan Rumble match, like just like they usually do. And it will be a number 1 contender match for this time for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. So you'll have a lot of the regular roster members on there, some young lions as well. So you'll have like Bad Luck Fale, Chase Owens, some of the other guys from the faction, Jeff Cobb. So quite a few people. It's about 20 men. And the surprising winner will be Oleg Boltin. I think that's how you say his name. Boltin Oleg? Boltin Oleg. That's I forgot how to say his name for a second. Yeah, Boltin Oleg. Because I feel like if New Japan book him right, which in my card he would be booked right, he can become like that next big foreign talent that's just gonna be a monster. Really, he speaks Japanese as well, amateur wrestling roots. He's like Anoki's wet dream, really. Pretty much. Amateur wrestling background, Western foreigner, big, strong, tough guy. And he will be the number 1 contender for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship in the future.
And you're giving a lot of guys a good payday there by sticking them in a battle royal.
Exactly. You have some couple of like older heads, like trainers in the dojo, like the old third generation guys appearing. So it's something for everyone, really.
You know they love is I went all gimmick matches almost, and every one of us has very different kind of booking, and that's awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna go with. I was thinking, maybe if I added more gimmick matches, yeah, it might be different. So I've added a couple, but not like too gimmicky. It's more like a Japanese style gimmicks, really. So you're good, Alfonso. My second match is almost like a litmus test slash passing of the torch match. I have Hiroshi Tanahashi versus the returning Yuya Uemura, who recently returned to New Japan. And yeah, this is just going to be a standard singles match where, again, it seems that Yuya Uemura from the Grapevines, basically rumored to be one of the next big stars that they're pushing. That's why he's not part of like the new core Three Musketeers. He's like kept separate from them, even though he's pretty much the same generation as them. So I feel like they could be potentially grooming him as potentially like the next face or like the next person to carry on after Okada. I could be wrong, things change, but that's what the rumors and mumblings are potentially. So what a way to prove that by having a match with Hiroshi Tanahashi and prove himself. Though I'll still have the ace come out on top, just barely squeaking out the win.
Oh, really?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Wow, I thought we get a new ace in the pack.
Not quite yet. He still needs to earn it, but it will be like a first like a litmus test. It's gonna be like, oh, he has arrived. He's ready for the main event. But it's just the Ace's veteran talent and skill and experience just edges it out. But again, it will be interesting to see. So it's like almost like a passing of the torch, really, but not quite there yet.
I see. I got you.
Yeah. Then my third match will be a Falls Count Anywhere death match for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Hiromu Takahashi versus El Desperado. And what can I say? These two are batshit crazy. They'll do anything. They like fighting each other. They love the limelight. And that's why I put them in a Full Count Anywhere death match, really. And El Desperado is finally gonna get his moment, and he's gonna become new champion, finally defeating Hiromu Takahashi in a championship match at a big stage, really. And yeah, we're gonna have a new champion there.
Perfect stage for those two, then. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then I had the semi-final, so the fourth match on the card, the second to last match, a 2 out of 3 falls match for the IWGP UK slash
Oh
US
wow.
championship match. Champion Will Ospreay will defend against Tetsuya Naito,
Ooh.
and I'm gonna have Naito win. And after the match, he's gonna get the microphone, say, "Oh, this title doesn't really mean much. Yes, Ospreay has elevated the championship, but he's renamed it the UK title. So why can't I rename something?" So he's gonna rechristen the championship as the IWGP Intercontinental title that people want back
Oh
more
my.
than the US, and everyone wants the white belt back. So he'll bring out the white belt and be like, "This is the new championship. I'm gonna carry on with this title." So
Nice. Yeah.
that's gonna happen. Even though Naito and the white belt have a up and down relationship, he loves the white belt more, and we're gonna get that going really. And then the main event, I'm slightly cheeky, but I feel like since he's technically not fully contracted
Hmm.
to AEW, and
Hmm.
you'll see why it will make sense.
Hmm.
And it's the main event, IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match. Champion Kazuchika Okada, will defend against Katsuyori Shibata. And that will be a callback to obviously Shibata's match to Okada, where he had that unfortunate injury that took him out of the
Too
business really, and
too
almost
many headbutts.
almost killed him in a sense.
Yeah.
With Shaki.
Are
And
you sure Shibata is not signed by AW?
not yet, because apparently he has said he's willing to do a long-term commitment, but he's not yet. So I feel like hit that plus the ties to New Japan, and I feel like there's a lot of political things why they haven't used him on New
Be honest,
Japan.
to be
But
honest, you guys are
Mhm.
are not fair with me because one of you used the Rock and the other one used Shibata. That's not fair.
I,
。
I, 。
Sorry, Alfonso, but you know, we have to think outside the box, especially me. But yeah, and I'm gonna have Shibata get that moment and finally become world champion.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then my two honorable mention, which obviously I had to change because of, you know, since we ironed out the rules really, like I did have originally my second match instead of Uemura versus Tanahashi was gonna be the team of the Aces versus the Future, which would have seen crossovers. I know we're not doing that, so that's fine. But I just want to mention it. It would have been the team of the Ace of New Japan, Hiroshi Tanahashi, the Ace of All Japan, Kento Miyahara, and the Ace of Pro Wrestling Noah, Marufuji Naomichi, teaming up against the Young Guns from each company, which would have been Yuya Uemura from New Japan, Kaito Kiyomiya from Pro Wrestling Noah, and Yuma Aoyagi from All Japan. So that would have been one of the
Very well
matches.
thought out, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and my the Naito Osprey match was the third match on the card. My original, which you might guess, but my original semi-final match was GTS versus G2S, Kenta versus CM Punk. With Kenta winning and Punk finally giving Kenta the credit for the GTS and his influence that he had on CM Punk moveset.
I hate to say it, but it is Kenta's move.
Yeah. So yeah, did you speaking of, did you see that cheeky tweet by Kenta where Nakamura hit the go to sleep on Ricochet, I think it was, on Raw?
I
Yeah.
saw
And I think Kenta said, okay, retweeted it saying, I'll see you at Survival Series.
I
I'm
think
like,
that
that's
was
class.
awesome. I think that was awesome
That's
from Ken.
class. But yeah. So that's my card, and I guess I'll call it hmm, New Japan Wrestling Love, I guess. I don't know. I don't know.
No,
But yeah.
because I'm doing also the kind of logos from
Hmm.
each show, so
Yeah.
we can put it on social media. So like, the Japan
Wrestling
love,
Love, yeah. Go
wrestling love.
for it.
That's okay.
New
That
Japan
sounds good.
Wrestling Love,
Mhm.
WWE Dream Match Mania. Alfonso, it's your turn. Let's save
Okay,
the best for last. What have you
Yep.
got?
my pay-per-view name is AW Snorting Mania because he's
God's
going
sake.
he's going to book his nose off.
Oh god.
Oh dear.
You could have
So
called it the TK show.
Controversial takes from our man Alfonso.
the first match of the night is one of the biggest match that we're going to see like in real life is Christian Cage versus Edge for the TNT title. I didn't went too crazy with that one. I think is a
Mm.
match that everybody wants to see. And
But is
if the
Edge contracted to AEW?
yes,
Yeah,
he is.
he is.
No, I thought it's Adam Copeland. I don't know Edge is
Okay,
contracted.
Adam
No,
Copeland against
I'm
Christian
just messing.
Cage for the TNT title.
Hot,
No, I'm just pulling a leg off.
hot star Alfonso. Yeah.
The
Yeah, I
second
mean,
match will be, oh my god, no, she's not contracted. Fuck. Uh, the second match is going to be Shida versus Tony Storm. Well, you use Shibata and you use Roman
I
Reigns,
think
so
Shida is, to be fair.
no, but
I'm
I
sure
wanted
she
to
is.
go against Mercedes Monet, and you guys use Roman
Oh.
Reigns and you guys use Shibata, so I get one pick.
Yeah,
No,
go for
fuck,
it if you want.
fuck
Yeah.
Mercedes Monet. Give me timeless Tony Storm over anyone. Any other
Okay.
female in
True.
the.
No, no,
Yeah,
no,
I,
no,
that
no.
would be
But
pretty
but
good
this
too.
is a triple threat: Shida versus Tony Storm
Ah.
Oh,
versus
okay.
Mercedes Monet in a
Yeah.
30 minutes Iron Woman match.
Yeah, I'll allow it. I'm fine.
Has there ever been a triple threat Iron Man, Iron Woman match?
Exactly. No, is the first one. I think it's going to be awesome.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Uh,
Mhm.
for my
Yeah.
second match, I had to use a lot of multi-man match because I wanted a lot of superstars in it,
Yeah.
and I think that's the AW style of the big crazy matches. So the second match, no, the third match on my card is FTR against the Young Bucks, against the Claim, against United Empire in a ladder match.
Surely gotta have the Hardys in there too.
No,
It's a
you can have
ladder
the no. You can have the
match.
Hardys as judges or as commentary
Oh,
or something like that.
So that's going to be your
just
typical AEW spot fest car crash
just
match.
to be
Exactly.
clear, by Unite Empire, you do mean Aussie Open specifically. I'm assuming.
Okay.
Or I'm just asking. Just asking.
I don't know. I'm not sure yet, but I think it's going to
Okay.
be Aussie Open then.
Okay. Fair enough. No, I'm just double checking. Really, just have to have a look. Well, that's cool. Yeah.
And then after that match, we're going to slow things a little bit at first, but then it's going to go into a dead match because the next match is a dead match between Swerve Strickland and John Moxley.
Oh,
A death match.
Yeah, dead match.
Yeah.
deathmatch. Yeah.
I think that will
Nice.
be awesome. Like to see Swerve in a dead match can be
Yeah.
awesome, and John Moxley can revert to his like twinner face, like baby face, but he's a badass face.
Yeah.
And
I,
and blood all over his face, which he loves to
yeah.
do.
I
Yeah,
think
for
Swerve will be good in that match, especially with some of the more, I guess, violent spot you could call it, but he didn't lose to Lucha Underground, so I think it will work.
Swerve's doing
plus
great stuff at the moment.
Yeah,
plus
that
the
too.
spot of the night is John Moxley doing the DDT on Prince Nana,
Ah.
and then and then doing the dance move.
Alright.
Ingenious, Alfonso.
Thank you very much.
If I could add something to that, what would be interesting is bring a call back to Lucha Underground, right? Is having the finish. Obviously, your show. I'm just putting some input.
No, go for
Having
it. Go
the
for it. I
finish
want to hear it.
being Swerve hitting his is I don't know what the move is called, but it's the foot stomp move,
Swerve stomp.
the Swerve stomp on Moxley as a finish through a cinder block.
Like he did to Keith Lee on Dynamite all those months ago.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, and I think that would be a great finish to that match.
Yeah, I want Swerve to kill Moxley at the end of that match.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
exactly,
Moxley's out
exactly. No,
for a
but
while. Yeah.
like the only reason but why I booked
Mhm.
that match is because I want Surf to beat somebody great.
Yeah.
Love
Like
it.
No, hundred
like
percent.
I want Swerve to beat Brian. I want Swerve to beat MJF. I want Swerve to beat Moxley. I want to put a rocket on Swerve and have him
Yeah.
as the first AW back black champion.
I think that's the direction they're seeming going because he's still
Yeah,
having his on and off feud with Hangman at the moment.
but
Yeah.
the main event
Okay.
of this match is going to be, I think, the best wrestling match in the whole card and the best
Okay.
wrestling match of this war of pay-per-views.
Better than
Mhm.
Shad Gable versus Seth Rollins.
I'm pretty sure
Go on.
Kenny
Uh,
Omega versus
mhm.
Danielson versus MJF, a triple threat for the AEW title. I think that will be the biggest match AEW can book right now.
Oh, that's a huge match, isn't it?
I think
For
I
sure.
think having everybody like if you have that match, who you're going to cheer?
Yeah.
Like it's going to be so difficult just to cheer for one guy because I think a lot of people are going to want to see Kenny Omega win finally again the
Me.
AEW title, or maybe have Danielson going after his last run. Maybe that's his last match.
Me also.
What?
I also want to see that.
Yeah. uh, I think that's the biggest match AEW can do. Like if they ever want to go to war, just start doing a program with MJF and Danielson or MJF and Omega.
I really like the idea of
Mhm.
that match. Yeah. The only drawback for me with that is triple threat matches can get a little bit dodgy with the psychology where one
Yeah.
person is lying on the floor outside for 5 minutes while two people do stuff in the ring, which pisses me off in triple threat
But
matches.
but if you saw the four-way match that they did with the four pillars, that was greatly done. Like you didn't feel that.
Mhm.
So if you want to add somebody else, you can add Samoa Joe to this mix and have a four-way match with Omega, Danielson, MJF, and Samoa Joe. And there you
I
go.
think you have to have Joe just because of his track record of the multi-man matches, like the triple threat on at
Okay,
Unbreakable with TNA. I
okay.
think
So
after that, the
I'm
interest
adding
ended.
Joe to the main event. That way, it's a four-way match, and the way I'm going to kick your ass in the Twitter poll.
Kingpin Joe, Kingpin Joe.
And my two honorable mentions are Nick Wayne versus Darby Allen in a casket match,
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
and a Hell in a Cell Armageddon match, because I love the Hell in a Cell Armageddon match, and I don't understand why we haven't had like a multi-man Hell in a Cell match again.
We've
I,
only
I
ever had
know,
one.
yeah, I want to
That's
have
true.
another one, like a big one. And I was thinking which guys are in the card that I want to really to see, but I don't know how to put them in the card. And they are Eddie Kingston, Malachi Black, Penta El Cero Miedo, Ray Phoenix, Hook, and Hobbs.
You sound like Tony Khan with that last match, playing with his
It's,
action figures.
that's why it's called the AEW Snorting Mania.
Oh, brilliant. And there's me with my singles matches all the way through my card.
You know what? I would, just to be fun, put Britt Baker into that match too. Why not?
No, but yeah, I think it's very fun because we have very different cards, like each
Yeah.
one of us. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
have a lot of multi-man matches and gimmick matches. Rohit has his Japan magnificent wrestling matches, and WWE has the spectacle.
Yeah, the star power, the name,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
the one-on-one sort of. I've just
Mhm.
kept it simple, like WWE like to do.
Yeah.
One-on-one matches with storytelling.
Yeah. I would have
So
done pretty much the same, but then I would be basically a Wrestle Kingdom in a sense. So,
Yeah.
so I'm a little bit stuck there, but yeah.
so if you guys have to choose one card of this night that is not yours, which one will you choose?
Exactly. We're gonna
Ooh.
put. Oh, I don't know. I would probably pick yours, Alfonso.
I will probably pick yours because I really want to see Gunter versus Brock Lesnar and Chad Gable versus Seth Rollins.
I love the idea of your main event, as long as they do it right.
Yeah, it's true.
Which one would you pick, Rohit? Out of our two,
Uh, I think honestly, I think I have to go with yours, Alex.
get in.
How
Just,
dare you?
I think it's just because obviously I like that Dragunov's there. Them two are like two of my favorite WWE superstars. I know I don't watch them too much, but them two are definitely up there. And then I'm interested to see how they do the Rock versus Roman Reigns as well.
Story with that one.
Yeah, but I'm interested to see, like, obviously you won't see the aftermath fully if it did happen at the moment, but like even like the ending of the match, who wins, who loses, what happens to the characters in the result.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see, and if any other family members will get involved. Like, will we see like Rikishi potentially appear or something? We don't know. Will it be a cinematic star, man? Since The Rock is a movie star, they could place that up. Be interesting. Really interesting to
And
see what
that's why I introduced you as the incomparable Rohit.
uh,
Just before we go, some breaking news in the
oh,
wrestling world.
oh,
Uh, hello, can you hear
Go
me?
on,
yeah,
Alfonso.
yeah, go for it. What's the news?
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mystico is coming to AEW. Mystico
Oh,
is the biggest superstar in Mexico right now. Is the Sin Cara? Was Sin Cara?
That's who I
oh,
thought you were
is
you
he
were
gone
saying.
back to his mystical name? Because he went to
Yeah,
a couple of
yeah,
name
yeah, yeah.
changes like Mysticis, Caristico.
Okay. Just Carístico
Hmm.
is called Carístico Místico.
Yeah, is he's the Sin Cara, right?
He's the original Sin Cara. He went
Yeah,
back to Mexico and is now the biggest Mexican
yeah,
superstar. And he's awesome. Like I saw him live in Mexico, and
yeah.
he's awesome. He
He's
can
good.
run the ropes and do things like Bandido,
Yeah.
but he's a little bit more bulk. And he's having a match against Rocky Romero.
Nice. To be fair, Mystico is really good. I remember when I was seeing him in Japan as well. He's just so good. Like I couldn't understand the fact that WWE like
He
didn't understand him. I guess I don't know what the issue was.
he
The
really didn't do
only
well in WWE, did he?
yeah,
Yeah,
the
I
only
don't
issue
understand why.
the only issue about this match is
Mhm.
that it's in Rampage next Friday.
Ah, Rampage.
Yeah,
Couldn't
we're
have
going
been
to
at
have to
least
see.
Collision. I don't.
I don't know.
No,
Rampage
because
got a higher rating than Collision last week, from what I
yeah,
remember.
Oh, fair enough.
but the
What do
thing
I
is
know? I
that
guess.
we're also getting like on Wednesday we're getting Penta El Cero Miedo against Jay White for the first time ever,
Mm.
and on Saturday we're getting Samoa Joe against Willie Mack.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's one of the greatest thing that Tony can do. Like he maybe book one match, like one big match for each
Yeah.
show. So you are interested to see at least that one match, like
And
Mystico
then
against
the
Rocky Romero.
yeah, and then the rest is build up and story and
Yeah, and I
hopefully,
think
hopefully.
Hopefully.
and I think that's good because after
Yeah.
the tweets that Tony Khan sent today, it's very hard to believe in AEW as a
Yeah.
company that's going to do well in the next few weeks. But let's hope they take the positives about
Mhm.
what they're doing and they keep doing what they're doing without thinking about WWE. Like
Yeah.
WWE is way too big, like to be competing against them. I think they have to
Yeah.
do their own thing and try to
Mhm.
do better things instead of going to a city war against them.
Yeah, completely agree,
Yeah.
Alfonso.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And before that, going back to my card, originally I didn't have Oleg winning the Rumble. Originally, it was a last minute change. I forgot to mention that. Originally, I had the surprise debut of Nakajima win the Rumble. But obviously,
Ah.
he's not signed yet, so I don't. I think he'll probably end up in AEW, but we'll see what happens.
Well, a couple of slight bits of rule bending, but we're going to allow it. So, yeah,
Yeah.
those were our dream match cards, guys. We'll put them up on Twitter and Facebook. Follow us on both of those at One Stop Wrestling and pick your favorite card. Great job tonight, guys. Been a fun show. Some
Yep,
great cards
for sure.
created.
100%.
Thank you so much as always. Both, it's a pleasure every week to do this with you guys.
For sure. Yep. Agreed.
Follow us on all our social media platforms. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It really helps us. We're getting close to 1,000 now, so it'd be greatly appreciated. Alfonso, Rohit, thank you so much for tonight.
Thank you. Make sure to follow us, otherwise you're gonna hear the Undertaker's gong and you're probably gonna get chokeslammed.
And on that note, guys, we'll see you on the next one.
Okay, see you. Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao.